Hey everybody! How are you doing this fantastic Friday? Welcome back to another Friday with Dannphan stream. It's getting darker. Do you notice that it's a little bit dimmer than usual in the dungeon here? Granted, it's always kind of dark in the dungeon, but it's a little bit darker than usual. We're getting more and more towards the winter hours, so shorter days until the solstice, right? Not a big fan. Not the biggest fan, but I do like the longer days. I like it to be brighter much more because it makes me feel like I didn't waste my entire day, and then that the day is completed as soon as the sun is setting, you know? But yeah, happy Friday, everybody. Hopefully everybody has had a good week so far. It feels like it's been a while. But I guess it hasn't. I did a Friday with Dannphan last week, and then I finally uploaded another video, and I have more planned, don't you worry. I have some reviews planned, and got some read-throughs planned, which I'm sure some of you might be excited or maybe terrified. I did another read-through of course, more Avengers Academy. Gotta get updated on Avengers Academy, guys. Gotta figure out how that whole arc ends. And then I did a new read-through for a suggestion that a friend gave me. He's cooking up like lists for me at this point. I did a read-through of Nothing But Nightwing. You hear about this? You know about this? Yeah. Classic webcomic-y, don't take anything seriously ever style of comic that nowadays, I guess, DC and Marvel are trying to capitalize on because they see other indie people getting success from that type of webcomic, and then they're like, we can do that. We can put in no effort whatsoever. We're great at that. So that's yeah, that kind of summarizes my experience with reading Nothing But Nightwing. But yeah, so hopefully everybody's excited about those. I also have another paid review to do, but he hasn't gotten back to me yet, so don't know 100% when that video is coming out. Kind of just waiting in the wings. Got some comics today that just came in the mail. Kindred Heavens Book 2. Huzzah! This should be fun. I didn't do a review of Book 1, actually. I didn't do it. Mostly because I feel like there just wasn't enough there for me to give my full thoughts on, you know? How I feel about the characters, it's kind of like kind of shifty. I'm not 100% sold on it just yet, so I wanted to get Book 2, give it another chance and see if Book 2 sells me on it better. And if it does, then I'll say yay in the review, but if it doesn't, then I'll say no in the review. But, you know, at the very least, it got me to buy Book 2, so I guess it wasn't a complete failure of an introduction comic. Hey, Mark, thanks for the 20. Hey, Trish, big YouTuber news we really need your opinion on. Jake Paul or Mike Tyson? Oh, is that fight actually happening? Did he actually get it to happen? I mean, I guess good for him, right? It's if he really wanted to do it. And, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I can't say that I'm fans of either of them, really. If I'm being honest here, I'm not really a boxing type of person, or fighting, or it's a boxing match, right? Yeah. But I mean, it should be a fun showdown either way. Jake Paul, you know, he's got youth on his side. Mike Tyson has experience on his side. It's very funny they actually got that to happen. Yeah, that's a match I didn't expect. You're right. You know. Got a clean bill of health from the doctor yesterday. Also, one nice thing about the shorter daylight is that it's easier to fall asleep at night. I guess so. Although I'm getting tired earlier in the day now, when I should be doing more and more work. So, that's kind of a downside for me. I usually get to bed quite late. Well, not as... I say that I get to bed late, and then everybody's like, I go to bed at 6 a.m. Some, like, ridiculous number. But, yeah, I typically will, like, get to bed at, like, midnight or a little after. So, I do prefer to stay up and to keep working for a while until I'm 100% sure that this day is done, you know? But, yeah, shorter days, it makes me sleepy much more easier. Alright, Nito saying, Dannphan, I was wrong. Arcane Season 2 is good. Is it now? They didn't finish it, though, right? Or do they drop the episodes all at once? Or do they release it, like, weekly or something? I don't know how streaming services do things anymore. Because it seems like they're always shaking up the rules. I can't keep up with that stuff, you know? If you can't fight them, Like, probably. Yeah, maybe. Oh, thanks again, Mark. Taking politics out of it, Blue Sky is awesome, growing, and has so much user engagement. Really? That is surprising to hear. Because I heard the opposite from somebody else that I know that, like, tried to move to Blue Sky, but then they said that they're, like, the people that actually moved with them to Blue Sky were so minuscule, and that they had a huge difficulty getting engagement with their posts. It was, like, a post that would normally get, like, 100 likes would only get, like, 3 likes on Blue Sky. But I guess the experience is different for person to person, like what it actually is. I do find everybody's always like trying to switch to a different social media platform for all kinds of different reasons. And sometimes the reasons, you know, make sense. Sometimes it's a little bit like head scratchy, like, well, I don't know. It's 3 episodes per week. That's interesting. That's interesting, yeah. Oh, somebody else saying the 3rd episode of Arcane Season 2 was very convoluted. Okay. Alright, so hold out a little bit. And we'll see how, like, they finish up the... If they fuck up something later down the line. A bunch of artist tech and Swifties, if that is your cup of tea. I can't say that I'm a Swift. I do like artists, but I'm disappointed by how a lot of young artists especially are very political. Very activist prone, I'll say, you know? Because it makes me not want to follow them. Because I'm just following people for the art, you know? I try. I do. People don't believe me, but I do try to not talk about politics directly, especially when I'm on, like, Instagram or X or whatever. I just, like, want to post my art and be like, yee, look, comic stuff and stuff like that. But some people are just, like, way off the handle. Yay. But, you know. I've been waiting for Arcane Season 2 for so long, but now that it's out, of course I'm super busy. Yeah, you need to, like, put aside time for, the binging. Although some series I think are really good to binge, and then some I think are really bad to binge. Part of the reason I've been having, trouble finishing some manga, I think, is probably because it's meant to be read, like, chapter per chapter, week per week. but I keep on trying to binge stuff because I want to finish it as soon as possible so that I can review it. And then I feel like that, like, sometimes ruins the experience of reading it entirely. But then again, maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm just reading the wrong manga. Hey Dannphan, can you recommend or give an advice on some good video, audio, music editors? I'm asking just in case I'll have to use them to promote my future stories. Yeah, complicated question. I've received my own, I've received advice from other people about that type of stuff. Not very good advice in some cases. Right now, what I use is DaVinci because it's got the option to edit videos for free. And, it works good. And audio music editors. I don't have any music editors. I use Audacity sometimes. That's about it. As far as editing. But even Audacity, I don't really use that much. Sometimes I'll use it to, like, just record a quick audio that I need to, like, insert into a video. Or, you know, because I've been making music on the side. Music to reap by, coming soon. It's how I record on Audacity to, like, send them an audio of me singing the melody or something. But that's about it. Are you going to wait for the entire season to come out before watching it? Yes, because I would like to know ahead of time if I am wasting my time. I like the entire season to come out, then I watch reviews on it, and then I decide whether or not I want to watch it. I already have enough anime that I have to catch up on, you know what I mean? If I'm gonna dedicate a lot of time towards this, you know, and I was pretty lukewarm about season 1. Everybody else was like, yeah, Arcane season 1, and I was like, yeah, it was okay. So, I mean, maybe I'm not even the audience to begin with, who knows? I'd like to hear how the entire season was, what to expect from it, you know, hear from other people first. A lot going on with Netflix lately, it seems. Is there? I don't know. I guess there's the Arcane season, but yeah, I only follow an artist if they can draw nice pictures with boobies in them. Yeah, it's funny how, like, the line, like, cuts like that, or at least from where I'm viewing it anyways. What are your thoughts on artists wanting to quit drawing because PewDiePie is enjoying and improving in art? Oh man, well, it goes back to, like, I did a whole video about, like, how to improve in art and how you can see, like, improvements if you just focus on doing it. PewDiePie has a lot of free time because he's basically retired, and he only really does the videos now as for fun, essentially, so he doesn't have to upload the same way that he used to upload. And good for him. Good for him. He's got a beautiful wife, a beautiful kid, living in Japan, awesome, safe area with nice people. And he decided, what in free time? Well, I'm going to learn skills. And he did, like, multiple videos where he was learning a new skill, like, every month or so, just for the sake of it. Just, you know, just to keep the brain functioning. It's actually really good for your mental health, too, every now and then. It helps prevent, like, dementia in later life, right? So one of the skills he decided to learn is how to draw, because he really likes anime, right? He's trying to draw anime. Anime's, like, fairly, in the grand scheme of things to learn how to draw, cute anime bitches is, like, real easy stuff to train yourself how to draw. And, yeah, he realized that he enjoyed it. So he decided to just keep on doing it. And then 1 year later, he posts, like, another progress video where he shows, like, how good he's gotten. And, people be bitchin'. Because I think a lot of people who like doing art as a hobby are not seeing that same improvement, and they'd rather just believe it's because they're like genetically oppressed or something, rather than because they're not putting 100% into it like other people will. And, you know, also there's a lot of people who graduated from art school who have no art skills whatsoever. I've seen this happen time and time again. And it's because the teachers are garbage in art school. And I also talked about this in the video. Art school, part of the reason why a lot of people say art school is a scam is because the teachers are fucking garbage. Not all of them, okay? Not all of them. Yeah, I'm sure some of you got good teachers. Maybe some of you got really good mentors. But a lot of the art teachers that I worked with were not in it at all. They had no idea what they were doing. They didn't know how to teach me. They just gave me a fucking easel and said, figure it out, man. Just, yeah, it doesn't have to be good. It can be abstract. You don't have to be good to be a good artist. You can just tape a banana to a wall. It's fine, you know? And that's not a direction. Abstract art is trash. You're not going to improve your skill at abstract art. It just doesn't happen. People will go to abstract art because it's easy. Not because it'll help improve any art skill whatsoever. That's how it is. So I think you're getting a lot of those people in the comment section. And I think they're the ones who are mad. Because they feel insecure about how quickly they've been improving or haven't been improving. And you know, it's funny. Oh man, I don't know if I should really go into super details about this. But I was looking at one of those like learn to draw manga channels that were selling a art course. And they were like showing before and afters of some of their students like a year later, and there was hardly any noticeable difference. It's like a little bit, but like not a year's worth of difference. And it's not like it's not like it was a casual program either. It was like 5 days a week or something for like hours with sessions. And, you know, it really does just bring light to the very real problem of bad teaching and lack of direction. And sometimes people just not putting 110% in. And, like, that's fine. That's fine. If you're not interested in being an artist, you don't have to put effort into it. If you just want to do it for fun as a hobby and not get better at it, that's fine. Nobody cares. But if you want to be an artist, if you want to be good, you have to try. This is not controversial. What are you gonna do? I heard that the new Ranma anime's dub and sub are both unfaithful to the original. Should we wait for fan subs instead? Well, that's an interesting point. I'm sure there are still plenty of websites who upload fan subs. But, you know, I've never even finished the original Ranma 1/2 anime. I guess I should have. It just felt like... how did I watch of that? I feel like I watched a lot, but I can't remember anything of substance ever happening. So maybe I watched just like 5 episodes or something like that, and I was like, man, this really isn't going anywhere. And then I stopped watching. It's a very funny backstory behind how she came up with that idea, because it's such a goofy concept. But it clearly like made a big impact on culture and everything, because every anime will like reference Ranma 1/2 every now and then. And the definition of skill issue. Yeah, there you go. There you go. That sums it up pretty well. It's like if you're not trying, you're not succeeding. It's just that simple. Some people, you know, you don't have any direction, you don't know what to improve. That is a problem of you maybe not having good teachers or good mentors to help you, because some people do need help to be led in a certain direction. But you know, if you need help, seek it. Don't just blame the world. Don't just blame his superior Swedish genes and say you're oppressed or whatever, but yeah. A lot of artists are very political and don't care to see PewDiePie in any positive light whatsoever. You know, I didn't consider that, actually. I didn't consider that. But I guess there are a lot of people who hate PewDiePie purely because articles told them to hate PewDiePie, and no other reason. There's nothing wrong with PewDiePie. Quite literally, even like edgy PewDiePie is like pretty tame. I've seen his older, edgier videos. It's like fine. It doesn't matter at all. And like, current day PewDiePie is the most wholesome channel ever. It's probably the most wholesome channel on YouTube, if we're being real here. Just like reacts to memes with his friends, learns new skills and vlogs about it, and then like just do vlogs about his wife and child, just doing happy stuff together. It's so wholesome. It's so nice. It's baffling that people still have a problem with him. But I guess there are people out there who you're probably right, they probably still think that he's like some alt-right Swedish Nazi or something. It's weird, but I'm sure that they're out there. I believe the reason so many of these art teachers suck is because the lessons they teach are strictly for the academy. They will not teach you to create the next big hero heroine. Maybe. I think one part of it is that if they were successful at art, they'd probably, you know, be somewhere else other than just teaching at a school. Not that I'm trying to put down teachers, but you know, maybe they themselves failed and they don't really know how to give people the advice on how to succeed. But they have the degree. And that's the main thing that you need to get a job teaching art, is you just need like the degree or some sort of degree. Could be a trade. Yeah. Good luck finding fan subbers. New anime is still worth watching. Perhaps universal genetic enhancement for ability equity. Oh yeah, the fateful bridge. Yeah, people obsess over the bridge thing. I don't care. I can't pretend to care about that. If we're being honest here, who cares, man? There's so many other YouTubers who have said, like, words that are considered not okay to say nowadays. None of them have apologized for it, right? But PewDiePie says the N-word on a bridge, or not even on a bridge, in a video game. And then everyone loses their mind. I think it's honestly just because they didn't like him beforehand and wanted to look for a reason to cancel him. Because there were nasty articles about him long before that incident happened. I remember him reacting to like nasty articles about him way before that incident. But yeah. And then he did the apology video, and people who decided they already hated him, I don't accept your apology. Wah. It's become a meme at this point. Yeah, we did the perfect, the best way to handle the bridge situation. Make it a meme. I love, he goes back to playing that same exact game, and as soon as somebody's shooting at him from that same bridge, he just turns the other way. He's like, nope, nope, we're not doing it again. The bridge is cursed. It is pretty funny. My friend's father is an art teacher and does have works in exhibits. So yeah, teacher worth learning from. Yeah, I mean, there are teachers out there who are good at teaching. There are good mentors out there. I just haven't found them. And if I could, like, suggest to people, like, a good mentor for learning a particular media of art that they wanted to learn, I'd be recommending here, here, and here, you know? I would, but I really just don't, I don't really know anybody. Even at my art colleges, it's just kind of like, nobody was really in it. Nobody really, yeah. But, anyways, what else has happened in news? The artists getting mad at PewDiePie, by the way, that is fairly old news. Because they react, even to his 1 month drawing video, they were so mad. And, like, he drew one good picture. Like, most of the pictures that he drew, and he shows you, like, drawings that he drew the same day, you can tell that he's, like, not a professional just yet. But as I've mentioned before, art can be really inconsistent sometimes. Sometimes you just randomly draw a banger, and you're not really sure, like, how'd I do that? I could show you some of my old sketches. I think I still have some of them on, like, Instagram, actually. Some of my super duper old sketches. Like, every now and then you'll just see one that's, like, randomly good. And, then a couple that are just randomly super fucking bad. Alright. You can see this, right? Yeah, yeah. Ugh, how deep can we go into my Instagram? This is the only thing that I like about Instagram. It's like literally the only thing is that it'll just show you all the images. It's an image-based platform, and so it makes it much easier to like share art and stuff. How deep can we go? Okay. All right. So these are some like old sketches. You can tell I was like practicing faces and stuff like that. And you can already kind of see what I'm talking about, where like this looks super fucking bad, right? And pretty good, just kind of out of nowhere. It's like not perfect, but it's like the same type of Disney style. It's just like one looks better. There's this one where somebody like claimed that I didn't draw it because it looked too randomly good. Because of just how random skill can be sometimes. Man, these are some ugly ass fucking pictures. I think I actually went way too far back. I don't know if it's this far back, yeah. Oh, is that a Suyu down there? Oh, it is. Oh, God. Horrific. Absolutely horrific. Ugh. I was trying to use up them pastels, that's what it was. Yeah, past all these. Did the fan art thing. That wasn't very good. This. Yeah, I just drew this. And it like just randomly turned out good. And this is like right next to like other not so good drawings. And, you know, it's art just be inconsistent sometimes. That's just my point. That's all. That's all I'm trying to say, really. Yeah, people always trying to bring down anyone that's more successful than themselves. That is another thing, right? Because PewDiePie is the top YouTuber, they want something to be wrong with him. Because nobody deserves to be on top. Gotta tear them all down. But yeah. My high school art teacher was an exchange from England. He was very good at teaching. We all like him and his style. That's awesome. I never had a proper art teacher. Instead, I taught myself from how to draw books and references. Yeah. Yeah, that is a big thing with how I learned myself. It was not, yeah, literally no teacher. No teacher really taught me how to draw fucking anime. It was all like tutorials online. Same thing with PewDiePie. He's just talking about watching tutorials online and learning basics and just trying, just like actually trying. Imagine that. But anyways, hear about the Rachel Zegler thing? That's her name, right? Zegler? Yeah, so apparently this is only like kind of slightly political, but part of the reason why I bring it up is because it like blew up for the shortest time on my feed and then like vanished. Apparently today, just today, she apologized for her Instagram post. It kind of a funny apology, but you know, I assume that Disney told her to apologize because she was a little bit spicy. She was a little bit spicy in her Instagram post. She said that she hoped Donald Trump supporters would never know peace. I think those were her exact words. Very ominous. Yeah, very, very ominous. May Trump supporters and Trump voters and Trump himself never know peace. Very ominous. Now, a lot of people would see that and be like, what does that mean? What was she trying to threaten them with here? But yeah. So she apologized for that. Her apology was, hey everyone, I would like to sincerely apologize for the election post I shared. Hatred and anger have caused us, all of us, yeah, not just me, collectively we are all responsible for what I said, actually. That's what I mean when I say that it's like kind of a funny post. Because, sometimes, every now and then, you get someone who is a little bit hesitant to take responsibility. And so they'll deflect a little bit. But yes, it caused us, all of us, to move further away from peace and understanding. I am sorry I contributed to the negative discourse. I firmly believe that everyone has the right to their own opinion, even when it differs from my own. I am committed to contributing positively toward a better tomorrow. Yes, as you should, since you work for Disney. That's kind of how it works. There's a great big beautiful tomorrow. That's, you know, that's the Disney thing. You're not supposed to wish not negative peace. Wish negative peace upon Trump and his supporters, who, you know, is the majority of the country. So, you know, not the best look for Zegler, but then again, she's very good at making herself look very bad. I'm really surprised that they kept her on for Snow White. All of this terrible marketing that she has done for Disney, this anti-marketing, this reputation ruining stuff, it's crazy. Threats from Zegler about as threatening from a bark poodle. Yeah, it is what it is. AOC did say they were going to make lists and punish them. So yeah, standard behavior. It's Hollywood, baby! Oh boy. Yeah, now I'm just waiting on how bad that new Snow White film does at the box office. They had to push it. They had to push it back because of the reshoots. I don't know, when is it supposed to actually come out now? Snow White, Disney, live action. Let's get a date on this. It's 2025? March 21st, 2025. There's no way that movie's gonna do good, man. There's no way. I would be very surprised. It's just gotten so much bad publicity at this point. I'm really surprised that they hung on there, though. No matter, like, how much she messed up in the interviews and everything, they just kept her. They could not have anyone else. Would she have dirt on them or something? They refused to replace her over and over and over again. We're riding this out, you know? Alright. It's fine. They already filmed it, what else could they do? Are they done filming? Because I thought they were doing reshoots. Maybe they are done filming. Then again, you know, like, they had plenty of time. They had beforehand, she was always saying crazy shit that would definitely lead to bad things for the success of the movie. Weird. Oh, here's an interesting question. Do you believe in artistic talent? I have genuinely met people who have drawn their entire lives yet seem to lack the creativity to make anything appealing, and all their practice just doesn't seem to lead to anything. I do kind of believe that not everyone can do it. What's your take? What's my take on, like, being genetically good at art? I think maybe, you know, maybe your brain, depending on how it's wired, you might be more interested in art. You might be more creative. Or, well, I think you can train yourself to be creative as well. It's more so about, like, shoveling all the muck out of your brain that prevents you from being creative, you know? But, I think anyone can learn art if they want to, if they're passionate about it, if they want to do it, yeah, they can absolutely become talented. I think a lot of people who I see who are not talented at it are also not passionate enough about it, and they have a tendency to blame everyone else for that. You know what I mean? Like with the whole PewDiePie thing. They blame it on them just not being genetically artistic, but they were not passionate enough to learn the same way that he did. I see like a lot of people who watch tutorials that work for some but don't work for them. Part of that is just how your brain is wired. Different teaching methods for different people is important. It's why a mentor is much better than just watching videos online. But like I said, it's just difficult to find a good mentor because a lot of teachers in colleges don't know what the fuck they're doing either, you know? I think there's a lot of contributing factors that can lead to someone practicing and still getting nowhere. I don't think genetics is one of those. Like, if we're speaking on me personally, well, if you're speaking on, oh, well, I know someone with all crooked fingers on their hand, they can't draw because their genetics are bad. He's like, yeah, well, obviously. If you know someone who has a shaky hand and it'll keep on shaking for the rest of their life, oh, that's genetics. They'll never be able to draw. Yeah, okay, sure. Yeah. I'll say yes, okay, sure. Amputee. Maybe it's not gonna happen. But if we're just strictly talking about, like, the brain, I think we're probably gonna be fine, you know? I mean, me personally, I have crooked fingers, so, you know, that's a disadvantage for me, but it didn't stop me from learning how to do it. Just how it be. Anyone else's YouTube app been removing comment section entirely? That's weird. Usually YouTube likes the comment section. They want people to interact with the video more. Or interact with the website itself more. I don't know why they would be removing it. It's probably maybe a glitch, if I were to guess. I don't know. Looks like comments are down. Huh. Weird. Maybe they're updating it? Changing like the look of how the comment section goes? Lost signal for a while. Hope I didn't miss too much. I don't think you did. We're going back to like talking about art again. Do psychedelics for increased creativity and brain plasticity? So that's a common misconception. Apparently psychedelics make your brain move slower and make it more difficult for you to be creative in the long run. People do claim that they get inspired based off their hallucinations, but that's like people getting inspired based off their dreams. And the funny thing is, there's actually a bunch of drugs that prevent you from dreaming entirely, which is weird. It's really weird to think about. There's some kind of, is it a seed oil that I'm thinking of? There's something like in our food that can also have that effect of preventing you from dreaming. That can't be good for your creativity. But, because I can't imagine what it's doing in the brain. But, yeah, that's spooky stuff. Yeah, not everyone has the free time to practice. And a lot of people decide that they want to do art really late in life when they don't have time anymore. I think that's another big thing, right? Because when you're younger, when you're a teenager and you decide you want to do art, maybe you don't have the support behind it. So you push that to the side and you don't practice for your entire high school life because, oh, well, I can't do that career because I don't have the support of the people, my family, or people behind me. And then later in life, you're like, oh, actually, hold up, I'm not happy. I want to go back to doing art. But now you don't have the experience of learning, and now you don't really have as much time as you used to have to learn. So, you know, there's definitely disadvantages, but that doesn't mean that you can't overcome those disadvantages. Doesn't mean that it's impossible, of course. Success is practice times talent. So in a way, it's math. Well, don't forget marketing. Marketing is a big one. If we're talking about success, oh boy, you gotta really learn how to make friends and get the word out. Oh boy, transforming your art into business, that's like a whole other thing. Not success, rather skill. Okay. Fair enough. A lot of people are too scared of failure. They would rather never try and blame everything else. I do see this. I see this very often. There's a lot of hesitation. There's a lot of people who are just like not quite sure if it is what they want to do because they're worried of the outcome ahead of time. Every successful comic manga artist I've heard talk about getting good attribute it to practicing and working with others with the same goal. Never classes. There you go. There you go. My sister is crazy talented, but she doesn't really enjoy drawing or painting. It's a shame. Hey, it's not for everybody. Like I said, it's fine if you don't want to do it. You don't have to. There are so many other jobs and and outlets out there. Even if you want a creative outlet, right? But it doesn't have to be drawing. It can be music. You can learn to play an instrument. You can learn to sing. You can learn crochet. You can learn pottery. You can learn smithing. Fucking glass blowing. You can make the little miniature furniture and do the panorama shit, man. There's so many cool, creative options out there that you can get good at. And I've seen other people get good at. And then they make videos about, like, look how good I am at this art thing. And then they get a bunch of views and people clap. You have options. It doesn't even... Yeah, if you're not good at one particular thing, it's not going to be the end of the world for you. If you just want to do, if you just want some kind of creative outlet, you can find it anywhere. But yeah, I'm getting ready to work on my own comics soon. What would be a good page count starting out? I'm thinking 24 or 40. Okay, so you're thinking like a floppy comic? That would be pretty good. I mean, speaking from my own experiences, I think the first comic I ever did was 22 pages. The first floppy comic that I ever printed. It's not like getting a job will kill you. This was 30. It was 30 pages. Pretty good. Everybody loves this one shot. And then Horizon Quest, this is actually 60 pages, but it's still a floppy. Took a lot longer, of course, but yeah. Yeah, I think 20 to 40 pages is perfectly solid, but it also, of course, depends on how long do you want the story and what page count you need to make a full story that works. So there's that. There's definitely been plenty of times where I've written a draft, or I sketch out my drafts, right? So I sketched out a draft comic, and I realized that it's going too fast because I just sketch it out based on certain plot points that I know need to happen. And it's usually like the shortest version of the comic is when I first sketch it out. And then I'll go back and I'll start adding pages to help with the pacing of it. Not that I'm saying that's the correct way to do it by any means. It's not exactly the correct way, but that's what I do. Just to give you a general idea, is like, so long as it is a correct amount of pages for the story you're trying to tell. But yeah, having a general goal of what you're looking for ahead of time makes sense. Art is like everything else. It's one part intelligence, one part passion. Most people will never paint like Rembrandt, though, because they aren't smart enough to figure it out. Yeah, painting, music, writing, sculptures, etc. Play RuneScape is what you're saying. Yeah. One thing that annoys me is when you know how to draw, people automatically assume you can paint as well. Well, painting isn't that far off if you know coloring. Once you learn coloring, you kind of start to get it a little bit more, you know? I've done a few paintings. I have. Not recently, of course. But one of the gifts that I gave Adam's parents, actually, was a painting of their 2 dogs. Because I thought it was a nice thing to do. I got photographs of both the dogs and, you know, just basic artistic knowledge of how do I copy real life thing. And then, my knowledge of coloring, how do I make the color look right? How do I do shading without it looking gray and icky? And I think the painting turned out pretty okay. Maybe I should share it at some point. It's kind of old, though. It's kind of a few years old. I I get the hiccups more than anyone else on planet Earth, I swear. How many times have I gotten the hiccups doing this Friday with Dannphan? Is it because I'm talking fast? Is that a thing? Do you get hiccups from talking fast? I know that you get it from eating fast, but I don't know what else causes it. Some people probably grow up in an environment that stifles their creativity rather than nurturing it. I grew up with artists surrounding me. If I hadn't, I probably wouldn't be an artist myself. That's a good point. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. That's yeah. I think school, public school especially, really stifles creativity. They try to, you know, shoehorn in art classes and gym classes and stuff like that, but it just... Yeah, God. I felt like I was catatonic when I was going to school. It's not healthy. There's no way that human beings were meant to learn that way by just like sitting in a chair and just being fucking bored for 7 hours. Thanks for the 20, Matthew. Yeah, okay. You want me to try to say this? I will try. Bowit daba. Da bang, da bang, diddy, 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 said the boogie. Said up, jump the boogie. I delivered that with as deadpan as I could get. Photography actually does seem interesting to me. Well, go for it, man. Photography is another creative outlet. That's one of the things that annoyed me, is people comparing AI art to photography, and it's like, nah. Photography requires a lot of skill, too. You gotta, like, actually know correct angles and, you know, get the lighting right, and there's thought that goes into photography as well. Awesome gift. I'd love to see that painting sometime. Yeah, maybe I gotta dig it up. Or actually, maybe I've posted it before? I'm not sure. I don't think I did, though. Inhaling in air too fast. Oh, maybe. I don't know. I didn't like the art teacher much. Unfortunately, it didn't make me want to keep trying. Yeah, you know, my art teachers were a little bit weird. Not gonna lie. My high school art teachers, a little bit weirdos. Just a little bit weirdos. I made one of them very upset once, but they couldn't tell me why. But I know why now. Because I'm older and wiser. I won't give you the full details. I'll let you use your imagination, but the art assignment was we were supposed to be making political cartoons. I don't think she liked mine. Or let me correct that. I don't think she agreed with mine. It was very visible on her face. She didn't say anything. She was, you know, she just was clearly upset. And even as a child, I understood this. I just didn't understand, like, what's there to get upset about, though? Yeah. It's a funny story, though. I've known people that claim they have improved their art and also came up with some of their best art, and I did it by using hypnosis. Do you know how hypnosis works? It's kind of the same idea as being catatonic. It's really simple, honestly. I do wonder what would the speaker of what's the hypnotist in question saying to them that makes them... Is it just like affirmations that make them feel better? Because affirmations are, in a sense, kind of like hypnotism too. It's the idea of basically convincing someone of something is what real hypnosis is. Although a lot of people and a lot of media portray it as though it's mind control. It's not actually mind control. It's more so manipulation of the brain. It's like the equivalent of convincing someone with the Mandela. That's like kind of hypnotism. You just convince someone that something that's not real is real. But you know. No, I don't need hypnotism. I'm an adult, so, you know, I don't... I used to... The reason why I say that is because, like, I used to be curious about that stuff when I was younger. No longer curious about magic or hypnotism or binaural beats. I don't need any of that stuff now. I've actually found real methods that don't require me to be catatonic. You're not wrong about school stifling creativity. There seems to be an ingrained bias against comics, video games, cartoons, basically anything we would call the popular arts. That's fair. That's fair. Although I do know teachers who would play pop songs during classes. But the funny thing is I didn't like any of the pop songs they were playing. So it was just kind of hello fellow kids cringe, you know? But, you know. I love that Dannphan didn't know those were lyrics. I'm not gonna sing it. You can't convince me to sing. What are you... but not wiser asking for a friend? Dumb idea for an assignment. Well, especially if you're gonna get mad about it. Get mad about, like, what the students actually drew. Like, dude, I'm a teenager. I just learned about politics last class. You're gonna already get mad at me for reaching any kind of conclusion? They should not have assignments about modern politics. Shaking my head. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. No, you don't need to tell me. Yeah, well, you know, it's just one of those things. Just one of those things where people rely on school to teach their kids everything instead of sitting down with their kids and teaching them themselves. And I get it. There's a lot less time. Economy sucks. Everybody's got to work nowadays. Even the kids. I had a part-time job while I was going to high school. It was not mentally healthy. It was not what I would describe as a mentally healthy job. Had to walk on the highway. Yep. But you know. Now I'm reminded of the author Apocalypse Zero said that he and his assistants avoided using drugs when creating the monsters in the manga. Yeah, you know, the drug use thing really strikes me as a really old school, like, Pink Floyd-esque band inspiration type thing. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that's maybe not so relevant right now. I don't know any artist who uses drugs to draw. Or even worse, needs drugs to draw. I can't think of a single one. Then again, maybe they just haven't confided in me that they need it. They need the stuff. Caffeine, maybe caffeine, if that counts. Sure. I mean, I know a lot of artist gals who are high on that coffee, but not much on anything else. Did you actually try out the hypnosis when you were younger? Not with a person, but you know, especially back in the day, well, I guess it still exists nowadays on like TikTok and stuff, where they get like viral videos that go, oh, you gotta try this, it 100% works. And then like in the video, it's just like, spin around in a circle 3 times and chant these numbers. You know, whatever the fuck those videos are. I don't even, how do I even describe this brain rot of videos? I'm just happy I'm an adult. My art teachers played classical music and Bob Ross. Ah, the classiest. Very nice. Well, one of my teachers not only forced politics into assignments, but tried to force the prompt to be a very specific angle. Oh yeah. No, I could barely get through any of my classes without politics being forced in there, especially my history class. Oh my god! My one history teacher that I remember. What a fucking cuck. What a cuck. Ugh. So many things that he taught us that was just wrong. And then we had a history book, right? And the history book is like approved by whatever epic council of parents and teachers. But he would make his own pamphlets and would encourage us to, don't worry about what it says in the history book. Just in my personal pamphlet that I typed up, that's the real information. What a fucking cuck. If you saw his face, I can't show you his face naturally, but if you saw that man's face, that's a cuck face. You know exactly why I would say the word cuck if you saw his face. He has a real cuck face. Ugh. You know his wife's sleeping with somebody else. You look at him and you're like, oh no, dude. Wow, crazy. No, I mean, like, being a kid, you just don't question it. Because you don't know any better. And you're like, oh yeah, it's a pamphlet, like a math pamphlet. No, it's just some guy who typed up some made-up bullshit about history. He did, though. He taught us a bunch of wrong information, which I would later find out was wrong in life. And I'm grateful that I did find out. Some people, maybe they just never found out and just went onward with life and will die one day believing that everything he said was correct without doing their own research. I think a big part of it was because later on in life, I guess more so modern day, I've become more interested in history, whereas I had no interest in it previously. Maybe part of that was because I was constantly taught history wrong, but who knows? But it's because I was more interested in history later on in life, I did my own personal research into it, and I found out a lot of the stuff that I learned was not at all accurate. Yeah. But I came out a better person in the end, so I came out on top. I win. That's how that works. Probably typed it while pantsless. You're sitting on the cuck chair. You see that in hotels? They call it the cuck chair, where there's just the single chair that's pointed towards the bed. Oh yeah, that's where he was sitting. He was sitting typing out these damn pamphlets, making shit up. Yeah. Yeah, it's something. I remember my junior English teacher was very political and tried to teach us propaganda. There was a short hated anime titties. Those were dark times. No, I get it. I get it. I understand. We got through these dark times in our life. We changed as people and we came out better for it. But it's part of the reason why I have a lot of sympathy towards a lot of young people nowadays, because I'm just assuming that they're going through the same bullshit that I went through when I was younger. And because I know from experience that they have the potential to get out of that bad pathway, I do hope that they get out of that bad pathway. Wow. Dannphan saying cuck instead of... Oh, is there another word for cuck that's better? Simp? No, I think cuck is better than simp. Thoughts on the My Adventures with Superman show? I made a video about that when it originally came out. I watched either one or two episodes of that when it first came out. Sorry, brain is getting a little bit slow. Yeah, I didn't like it, but I didn't watch very far into it. I just kind of was like, I'm not feeling this. This is weird. I'm just not feeling it. And so I stopped watching it. But, you know, who knows? I heard some people not mind it nearly as much. It's just not my thing. Please don't lump us simps with cucks. Well, that was a thing when, what's his name? What's the one edgy YouTuber name where he's not edgy anymore and he got like super soyed up? What's his name? Fuck, what's his name? He did the Content Cop videos. That guy. When it came out that he was letting his wife sleep around, everyone was calling him a simp. But that was the wrong word. He's a cock. It's different. iDubbbz, yes. Destiny? Well, that's a whole other fucking story right there. Whew, Destiny. Yeah, oh, jeez. Yes. So that's the only reason why I pair those same words together, is because they all called iDubbbz a simp when it came out that he let his wife sleep with other men. But he's not a simp. He's a cock. It's different, guys. I get why people think drugs will free their mind. We can be constrained and worried when creating. Maybe that filters out some potentially great and innovative ideas because they aren't safe. And I think drugs will eliminate that filter, but a little bit of perfectionism is needed, otherwise you will create a mess. Well, that was like part of the idea of abstract art. A lot of people did drugs and made abstract art, but like, there's no skill involved in that. I can throw a bucket at a wall. Anyone can do that. You don't have to be an artist to throw a bucket at a wall. Come on, bro. Throwing buckets over here, bro? What the fuck? There's this one painting Adam's aunt has on the wall. It's, she loves it because it has a story behind it. It's an abstract painting, right? It was painted by a turtle because they just put a bunch of paint on like the turtle's belly and stuff and just had the turtle walk around the painting. Let me tell you something, folks. I can tell it was painted by a turtle because it looks gray as fuck. There's no color. It just mixed all of the paint together in a bunch of swirls. It looks awful. Oh my god. But she loves it because of the story. The story behind it is so good. Abstract art. Yeah. Oh god. It's very funny. It's very funny. Nah, I love her to death. She's an absolute sweetheart. But I can't share that same love of abstract art. I just can't do it. But yeah, speaking, if we're going to talk about drug use and art and whatnot, I don't really trust any drug that causes my brain to perform less optimal. I guess that's, if I were to get addicted to any drug, it would not be something like marijuana, for example. Because that does the opposite for your brain, you know, it makes you slow down, or in some cases have panic attacks. It depends. Different people get different side effects from it. And I don't like the idea of a drug making me stupid. I don't find that appealing at all. Same thing with alcohol, really. I don't like the idea of being drunk. It's not that I have a stick up my ass, I just don't think that sounds fun at all. But if I were going to get addicted to a drug, it'd probably be some extreme form of caffeine, which goes back to what I was saying before. I'd probably get addicted to like Adderall, because that's something that's supposed to really tighten your brain. As something that's supposed to really get you thinking more rather than thinking less. Obviously, I'm not going to do that because I'm smart enough to know that that is not a good route to go down. It's not a good thought process to use something as a crutch for any kind of performance, really. You should, you gotta learn how to pull yourself up, you know? Even caffeine. I detox from caffeine every now and then. I try to do 1 or 2 days a week with no caffeine whatsoever, which I know maybe that doesn't sound like enough, but just to like kind of flush it out of my system so that I can restart. So that it's not as much of a crutch as it potentially could be, I guess. Which turtle sounds like a Donatello thing. Yeah, we gotta... That's perfect. That's fucking perfect. Got one for Donatello, Michelangelo, Leonardo, Raphael. She should have had at least 4 turtle paintings on the wall. She only had 1. Shameful. Yeah, that was great. Dannphan is so Michelangelo. There we go. You're describing cocaine. Yes, of course. That's what I'm saying. I thought Adderall would be like a little bit less on the nose, but yes, it is cocaine. But yeah, obviously I'm not going to do that. But I'm saying that I wouldn't. I don't. Part of the reason why I haven't. Part of the reason why I don't drink or do pot is because I don't like the idea of any substance making my brain move slower or less efficiently. So it's something that is not going to affect me the same way it might other people who do find that to be very appealing. Yeah, drugs that make you stupid are a quick fix for ignorance, or for people who are very troubled. I do hear a lot of people say that they have anxiety, and that is why they drink or smoke weed or something. I have anxiety too, but wasting time makes me more anxious, so it would do a backfire on me. Caffeine makes me shake. Oh, it makes me shake. Don't you? I have heart problems. That's the funny part. If I have too much, part of the reasons why I do the detox every week, if I have too much caffeine, it hurts my heart. I don't have like I do a very light roast whenever I have any coffee. It's gotta be very light, because my heart, it hurty pretty bad when I have too much. And I guess that's another benefit, is that thank you, terrible genes. You have prevented me from getting high on anything. Stick to caffeine, fellow creatives. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I don't like anything being a crutch. I have enough crutches in life, you know? I don't need more. I need to start standing up on my own. But, you know how it is. Don't do gummies alone. You'll feel like crap. Damn. Well, let's not end it on a sad note. My point is, yay, I'm not addicted to drugs. So it all worked out for me. But, yeah, is there any other news that we should be talking about? Because we're already past the hour. We've actually been past the hour for a while now. I just figured I'd give, like, my 2 cents on the remaining topics. But, yeah. Light roast actually has a little more caffeine than dark roast. What I meant to say is I do it watered down a lot. Like I basically have less than what most people use in a cup because I do the pour over, so I put like less beans in there and then water it down quite a lot. The ground up beans, I'm not putting whole beans in the, you know what I mean. Stick with me, guys. It's more about how you brew it. Yeah, fair enough. What's your opinion on Blue Sky? You know, like, there's so many different social media platforms out there now, and it's a good thing. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's really good to have a lot of competitors out there. But I'm just not interested in starting from zero. Like, you know, it's just, like, tiring at this point. I got my YouTube. I don't even like Instagram, but I got Instagram, I got X, I got Pixiv. Follow me on Pixiv, bro. And yeah, I used to have like Tumblr and Facebook, but I hate Tumblr and I hate Facebook. And I hated them more than Instagram. So, not using those anymore. And then like at one point I tried to do, what was it, Parler? Is that what it was called? I can't even remember. It was an old Twitter clone, but it wasn't that great. I wasn't feeling it, you know? Oh, I got Minds. Minds is dying a little bit. It's not completely dead, but it's dying a little bit. You gotta, you know, it's one of those things. Tumblr moved to Twitter anyway. Yeah. I guess you're right there. They moved to Twitter and now they're moving to Blue Sky. But, you know. And then Blue Sky is also confusing to me because I'm not really sure what to expect there other than it just being a Twitter clone. I know that Jack Dorsey left. I don't know why. I don't know why Jack Dorsey left Blue Sky when he co-founded it. Because he, you know, he was the CEO of Twitter. Wouldn't you want to, like, stay with the competitor? Jack Dorsey quits Blue Sky board and urges users to stay on Elon Musk's X. Why? Why would he do that, though? Dorsey confirmed he had cut ties with Blue Skies, telling a user on X that he will who's no longer on the social network's board. Okay, and why? These damn articles, they never explain anything. They, like, really dance around the point. Oh yeah, and then there's, like, the Threads competitor as well. I don't like Threads, man. I think the worst part about Threads is that it was automatically downloaded on my phone. That's so invasive and fucking creepy. I uninstalled it immediately. That's not okay. You don't get to just download yourself onto my phone. Fuck you. Fuck Threads. Not going on Threads. Fuck Threads. You download yourself onto my phone? Bitch. Fuck out of here. I didn't ask for you. Yeah, that's the only reason. That's enough for me to not use it ever. Alright. I'm trying to, like... Don't depend on corporations to grant you rights. Defend them yourself using freedom technology. Yeah, it doesn't really give me a good idea of why he left Blue Sky, but apparently it was not on good terms, based on what this article is showing me anyways. Instead of bots and algorithms, it is user-driven now. I don't like bots and algorithms, that's for sure. You know what I would like to... There's a bunch of, like, for them to change on Twitter. One of the main things is just remove the what's happening tab completely. I don't want to see anymore. Like, it's so annoying. It's so annoying. Or at least have a slider where I can just tick and tick it off. I don't, what's happening? Oh, the hashtag, what? Trending in the United States, Tyson, Tulsi Gabbard, Whoopi Goldberg. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care about any people. Get them off. Get them off the what? I don't. There's nothing to do with me. Yeah, I don't like the what's happening tab. It sucks. What the thread's doing. Yeah. Alright. I think that is all I got for you for tonight. But thank you for joining me on another fantastic Friday with Dannphan. I'll get some more videos up for you soon, the following week. Maybe at some point we'll get to gaming channel again. Oh, you know what? I completely forgot to mention this, but I did mention it on Twitter. Sorry, X. We're gonna be at a PoochieCon pop-up. It's a different PoochieCon from the last PoochieCon that we went to, but it's just kind of like a more casual pop-up. I believe it's a free event. It's gonna be in Teaneck, New Jersey. If any of you are going there or are interested in going there, come hang out. We'll have a table set up and whatnot. But yeah, it's been a great stream as usual, and yeah, I'll see you in the next vid and on the next Friday with Dannphan. Thank you everybody for joining. Yay! See you next time everyone, and good night. Oh boy.